If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Life in Jest, the podcast where we subscribe to Chaucer's sage advice. Many a true word hath been spoke in jest. And you can see if you're watching this, you can see that Pascal has drastically changed. Now, I'm only kidding. Pascal had to take a day off, so I invited my old pal, Lynne Marie, to come visit. You'll see why. We, for many reasons, but she's a dear old friend that we've known each other, what is it, Lynn, like 20 years?
At least, yeah.
It's been a long, long time. You see, I do have these long friendships.
At least 20, maybe even liquid, I don't know, early. It might even be up to 25.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But let's not go over that.
That's so
a long time.
Long time. So I invited Lynn. We're going to do a Halloween episode, which is so exciting, a spooky season episode, because we both love spooky season. That's one main reason I invited her, but also because she writes these really cool Halloween books. So Lynn is an author, and Lynn, tell us about yourself.
So, hi, my name is Lynne Marie. Selene and I actually met each other through an author group.
Yeah.
That is still around, but long ago in a galaxy far, far away. The very first meeting, I don't know if I sat next to you or whatever, but
I think you did. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I scoped around as like, okay, who could be like a like-minded person?
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I sat next to her, and from that like very first time, we were just like friends and cutting up and yeah. Anyway, and so we both went on to publish books. Selene more into nonfiction, me into fiction. But here are two of mine. The most recent being Broommates, which are about.
Hold it up even higher so we can see.
Okay, see, I can't see.
I'll move it over a little bit, the other way, a little higher now. There you go. Okay. That's good. Yeah.
And then also Moldy Lots and the Three Scares, which is a retelling.
Move that over a little bit too. There we go. Yay. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a retelling, obviously, of Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
So cute.
With my own special monster type Halloween-y slant on it.
And you always, it's so amazing that these were published because you work because I know how much work went into that. You know, everybody appreciates seeing a published book, of course, but nobody but the people that work so hard, you know, and especially I knew you working on these books and I don't know about Broommates, but definitely Moldy Locks. I was there for something of it.
That one, and especially this old one.
Oh my God. Yes. The Palace Rat. Yes. And it's so wonderful when these things come into life. They get what they deserve, and we get what we deserve because we work so hard on them. And nobody would understand how many years we have to put into working on these things. It's crazy.
Exactly. That one I wrote in 1998. So I don't even know if I went to Liqui in 1999, but it was 1999 when I embarked on my journey. So it could have even been then. But again, we're not going over 25.
Yeah.
So that story was written in 1998 and got published in 2023.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's amazing. But that just shows how dedicated we are to our work. We never give up on it because why would we? You know, I mean, this is a lesson for everybody, no matter what you do. Just don't give up on your dream. You don't know. It might take really, really, really long, but it's never too late. It's never too late.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about Broommates?
So Broommates was a story that I had written about when I went back to college in early 1990s about my sisters. We were supposed to write from experience and sharing a room. And it was an okay story, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what this story needs? Witches.
Exactly.
So it needed witches, and I actually wrote that after Tomb Mates, which was about two brothers sharing a tomb. Um, that has a possible future right now. We'll see. I'm not sure.
That's it. I think it
But
could be a companion book.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's kind of up in the air kind of situation right now. So I took a story that like would resonate with people, but made it more fun. Because who
Absolutely.
wants to see two sisters squabbling about how to decorate their room? But like if you make it witches, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it up right because I can't see myself, but I'll try it. Is this the sweet?
Yes, I see them. Yes.
It just makes it way more fun. And then
It
like
does.
when they fight, it's like way more fun too.
Adorable. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like so, and it has a good takeaway at the end, but it was fun for me. Like one of my first books when I was a kid that I loved was The Witch Next Door by Norman Bridwell.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that like always stayed with me. Right?
Yeah.
And like, why next door? Why not share a room with a witch?
Exactly.
So, all that reading when I was in the first grade and onward, right? That stays with you and it kind of comes out in your books. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, it's funny the things that influence us. I mean, I was hit by a lot of the history stuff too, obviously. So, you know, I never thought I would write it. Never did I think I would write it. But there you go. You never know what's going to stay with you and come out. But it's true. You know, I love that. I love talking about that stuff. I could talk about it endlessly. But I did not want to make this just a book episode because we want to talk about spooky stuff. I will say I'm going to put links in for Lynne's books in the show notes, so you can order them in time for Halloween, people. There's, Amazon's good for that. Get them fast, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and Lynne, I'll put a link to your website also.
Great. Thank you.
Sure. Lynne travels extensively. I travel extensively too, but Lynne definitely beats me. So you have, but I do want to mention before that we went to Spain together. That was something.
We did. Oh my gosh, the stories we could tell about going to Spain together. That was so much fun.
The hunt for a coffee. Oh my gosh. And we went.
Remember, all I ate was the Madrid omelet or whatever they called it. Like,
yes, I know. Yeah. Now I would have the same problem. At the time, I was more flexible with what I eat, but now I don't eat meat. But it was a tough time. And also, boy, everybody was smoking there. Remember the smoke?
Gosh.
The airport, you couldn't breathe.
I know.
It was just a cloud of smoke, the whole place.
Oh my gosh. And remember the zoo? So like we like horror stuff, right? But that zoo was the...
Oh my God, those animals were chained.
I know. The zoo was like scarier than the horror story.
I can't believe what they did to those animals. I hope things have changed. What year did we go there? Do you know? You seem to be very good with dates.
Yes. We went there in 2003 together.
How do you know this? How, did you research it before you came on? You have this in your head. This is an amazing gift to recall dates like this.
Yeah, not all of them, but yes.
I would never. I would have to do some serious research to find out when we went to Spain. I don't even know if I could do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2003. But and are you going to mention some of our like friends that we were with?
Sure, you can mention. Go ahead. Absolutely.
So David Fickling from David Fickling Books, Arthur Levine from Scholastic, Rosemary Brosnan, HarperCollins. Who is the Doug, the author? The artist?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so bad with this stuff too.
Hergé Diak, who is now an agent for Hennen.
Love her.
Anna Wan, who illustrated a book about... Who was that? Frida Kahlo, I think it was. Yeah, we were with like
amazing,
some really great people hanging around. Oh, Lauren Schimmel.
Yes. You're so good with everybody's names. Like I see them all in my head. Obviously I knew some of them, but their names. But I know, I see them, but I can't always use it. I can't connect the name to the person. You know, I just don't have that gift. You are amazing.
Well, I just saw Lauren Schimmel's in I think it was North South Books as an editor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very cool. Wow.
I know. So, like, it's neat when you see those people coming around again, right?
It is, and we went there because it was such an amazing group that was gonna be there. It was a Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, SCBWI conference. Most people don't trek that far, but we
do.
we saw the possibilities, and also we both used our miles. We were both good with our credit cards and charged everything. And had miles, and to this day, do you still do that? I do it all.
I still do.
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Why not? If we have to pay for something, why not get something out of it?
Exactly.
I never pay cash for anything. Anytime I go to I try not to buy coffee. It's so expensive these days.
Oh my God.
But anytime I ever buy anything, I always charge it to get my miles, always. And so the traveling didn't cost us anything, just staying there. So really, it was just the same as going to a conference anywhere, really, for us.
Right, exactly.
But we got to go there, and it was so cool.
Intimate.
It was so intimate. It was a small conference, and we got to really hang with them. Now, David Fickling edited, oh my God, the book just went out of my head. The Golden Compass. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yes. And I had read it for my master's program. Now, normally I do not read fantasy. I just don't. I like reality. I'm a reality girl. I want to deal with a real life situation. Even if I write fiction, I kind of want it to be, I want it to be reality. I just trying to find a way out of it in reality. That I know there's usually two camps. People love fantasy or people love reality, right? But I read it and it was an amazing book. I mean, very, very well written. I was glad to read it. However, I didn't quite understand where they were. Because they seemed to have a lot of human qualities, but yet they had these other powers. So I made the mistake of asking. I was getting along really. He was a great guy. This guy was so much fun, and we just had a great time. He was just like really amusing and gregarious and a very caring person. Until I put my foot in my mouth, I said, "Look, I love the Golden Compass, but I just have a question. Where are they? What is this setting?" He looks at me like I'm an idiot, and he goes, "It's an alternate universe." I'm like, oh, was that mentioned? Did I miss that? I need things spelled out for me. But after that, he kind of looked at me like I was a complete ass. Like, I don't know. How would I have known that?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I kind of had like a moment with him. I'm like, you're British. And I wrote this British retelling of the Three Little Pigs. And he's being like, and it was like, what did I call it? The three little, it was a more British term for pigs. I don't even remember. It got lost.
I do remember this. I do.
Yeah, the famous computer crash. I lost it.
Oh.
Anyway, he's like very quiet and he reads it. And I put so much research, like I wove in like Mother Maiden Crone and all these Celtic things. And so
you are so good at putting in these things. You pick out, you find so many things to put into your stories. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of writing. But then he said, "This is brilliant." And it was like one of those, like, this is brilliant, but.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one's ever gonna buy this.
Why?
Okay, so what I did,
why did he say that?
For good reason. To some degree. So I did research on the Celtic tribes. So I made like the mother was the mother of all Celtic tribes and had these three little, it was boarlets. Boars.
Yeah, yes.
And then, so the first one was named Erin after Ireland. So it's like from this mother came these tribes that settled in, Erin in Ireland, Caledonia in Scotland, and Gallia in France, where the Ghouls settled.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the villain was Britain, Briton, which is like an old English word.
God.
And I made Britain the wolf.
Oh, that's not good, probably, for the British.
No. It's historically accurate.
You gotta publish it in Ireland or something. I mean, that's the answer.
Yeah, Northern Ireland. Oh no, Northern Ireland's with England and Southern
I don't know.
Ireland.
I'm really bad with all that stuff. I'm sorry.
Southern Ireland. But anyway, so he was just like, no one wants Britain to be the bad guy.
Yeah. For the same reason they probably would never publish a book about the American Revolution.
Exactly. But, and here I thought, this is my audience. But
that's so funny.
Again, it really happened that Britain was breathing down the neck of all these countries, right?
They don't want to know. It's just like in America. America doesn't ever want to acknowledge all the things they've done. You can understand it to a certain extent. Look, that's psychology. No one ever wants to admit to their things they did in the past. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I think Canada does. Canada's very good about admitting things, but they're definitely in the minority on that one. You know?
He didn't do it, so like he should still,
Yeah, I get. Right? No, I understand, but I'm telling you that we don't admit. I mean, I've been trying to get a book published about eugenics, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants. I mean, there's adult books, but I wanted to do one for young adults. And I wrote the outline, and it's just like, how dare you expose that we did these horrible things? I mean, forcibly sterilizing kids.
Right.
I mean, people did not find out they were sterilized until they tried to have a family. They didn't even know.
I actually read something about that. Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, do you know that it's still legal to forcibly sterilize people? There was a case that went up to the Supreme Court, and it was ruled constitutional. It was ruled that they did forcibly sterilize this woman. That's what I really wanted to write the book about. This case where this woman, they declared her to be an imbecile, and she had a baby. They declared the baby to be an imbecile. There was no reason for this. And no, they were not imbeciles, right? They forced her to be sterilized. It was a horrible thing. The girl was put into foster care. It's a huge mess, right? It's a huge mess.
Real horror story.
Real horror story. And I think this kind of stuff needs to be aired so nothing happens again. Look how history is repeating itself with things that are going on right now. But no one wants to talk about the eugenics, and that was never overturned. So you can still do these things in America legally. There's nothing saying you can't. And my heart just breaks. And I'm the kind of person that I want to share this stuff. I think young adults need to know it.
We need to learn from it.
They're going to be the change. The kids are the change. Exactly. And we have to inform them. We have to inform them to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I still want to do it. Anyway,
on a lighter note.
Yes. It was a great conference, and we had a blast. Even if we couldn't find good, I know people could be like, "Why couldn't you find good coffee in Spain?" I don't know. It just didn't taste right.
It didn't. It was hard. It was hard.
We were searching for Starbucks. Remember, we took a bus. We were going everywhere for Starbucks.
I think we were 20 years too early because they have Starbucks in Italy now too, and they do.
Well, they have them everywhere now. When I was in London, much younger, I think my kids were little, I couldn't find a decent cup of coffee anywhere. But now there's amazing coffee in London. So things have changed,
It has.
Yay. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about, I guess we'll start with the Lizzie Borden house, because it's so funny that I was there with Pascal and we did an episode about it, and we were like, oh, it was so cool to stay here. And then you told me that you did stay there. So
I also like history and a little bit intrigued by true crime, and who didn't grow up saying Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks.
Yes.
When she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41. I think that's how it went. I forget who was first.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, the father. Yeah, was it? Yeah, the father got it first. Yeah.
Yeah, the father.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a bed and breakfast at the house. And I'm like, how cool to stay there, right? In Fall River. But so on a little bit quick aside, the reason I wanted to go to Fall River was to see the Titanic Museum. Because
wow, I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it's very well renowned.
Really?
If you're one of the rivet counters like I used to be.
Oh my God, I get so sad about the Titanic. I can't stand it.
It is, but I'm like I don't know why I'm so fascinated with it. But so
No, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, and I wanted to check that off my list, and I'm like, Fall River, there's Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast and Titanic Museum.
That's pretty amazing.
That's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So then I called up and I was making a reservation, and I was making it far enough that I had like a choice of rooms. So I had to really put my thought into it, like Lizzie's room, her sister's room, the maid's room. And I'm like, where would I get like kind of like interactions like with the ghosts? And then I'm like, the murder victim's room.
Oh, you stayed in the one with a mother, the stepmother was. Oh, wow.
Where the mother was killed.
Yeah. They have the dummy thing laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course it was the father's room too, I believe.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah. But she was actually killed there.
Yeah, she was so I was like, I have to stay in that one.
You know, and now that I think about it, I think that she got killed. The woman got killed first, and then the father walked in, no?
No, the father was definitely on the couch.
Yes, but I think the mother got killed upstairs, and then the father came home later.
He was laying down on the couch.
Okay, so how did the mother not hear the father get killed?
Because the father, I believe, was sleeping on the couch, and she bashed him in the head with the axe.
But how did the mother not come running down the stairs? She didn't hear anything? She was right above.
You know, I did before I went. I read like every book on Lizzie Borden, but I went around 2000.
Oh, okay. Long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember.
Sorry. I'm trying to remember. I can't believe I was only there maybe 2 months ago and I'm already fuzzy on the details.
Yeah.
If I'm not writing a book about it, it doesn't stay as sharp in my head, you know? But anyway, I think I would choose that room too. I think I would, because that's wow, that's where the action was for sure.
Yeah. So I want to because I've been in France and felt like I saw ghosts and things like that. So I'm I'm definitely going to do this. And they had, I forget what it was called, 48 hours or something the next day. We're interviewing, did anybody have any cosmic or whatever? Seismic? What's the word?
I think maybe seismic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And I'm to be honest, no. And I was really trying.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I told them as I ate my little bloody axe cookies at breakfast, because it was bed and breakfast, they give us these little cookies with blood on, and they were axes
that's cool.
with red
Very cool
icing. It was cool. We did, of course.
So you didn't, nothing happened the whole night? You didn't, nothing? Did anybody have anything? That's disappointing.
Yeah, well, they thought if anyone was, I would, because I was in the murder victim's room where a murder took place. But I honestly, I wish I did, but
that's too. And you say you've had the experiences before.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, just tell me on the side note. Describe your greatest experience that you've had with a ghost or something, spirit.
Well, the greatest ones probably are more personal and also longer, because then I have to establish the relationship. So I will.
Okay, family and stuff.
Yeah. So I will tell you that I was in France with the tour guide on a Trafalgar tour in this castle that they said is haunted, and we were like, "Where is it haunted?" So they told us that this person goes past this window upstairs, in this attic. So they let us up there. And when they let us up there by ourselves, and we're just hanging around looking out the window, and we're who's to say if it's really haunted? It could be a cloud passed by, and and then we both saw it. A man walked by the window at the same time. Me and the tour guide, who, you could say I'm crazy or whatever, and all into this stuff, and obviously she had an interest, but two people are crazy.
Yeah.
So we both run to the window and look out, and there's no place to walk.
Wow.
And I'm like, did you see what I saw? And she was like, was it a man with a hat and long hair and a dark cape? And I'm like, yes. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's
that
really
was
cool.
pretty interesting.
Yeah. What's the name of this place where it happened?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. That was in 1998. It was some chateau in France. I think north of France.
Wow. If you could find out, I could put in the show notes. That is interesting.
Do you think
you could?
I'll try to look it up.
I mean, I don't know. People like to go look at that stuff. So I would be, you see, you're making me want to go there because
oh my gosh, there's so
I love
many
that
good
stuff.
places. And I know this
Really?
is not on the itinerary, but I didn't get to tell you this yet. Did you know I went to Dracula's grave?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh, well, we definitely want to talk about that. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's finish Lizzie and then we'll backtrack to that.
Lizzie. So
this is how I operate, by the way. There's we just thought whatever we talk about, it's fine. But go ahead. But I think that's really cool. That's amazing that happened to you. I've never had anything like that. I mean, I probably told you, I tell everybody that I communicate with my son, And I had a lot of communication with my boyfriend who died. And then my aunt, when she died, she always, I mean, I can't prove her, obviously it's her, but I just know I started finding hearts everywhere. And she used to call me Dear Heart. And I know, like, and now I find them, but there's always something like abnormal about them because my heart's so broken. You know what I mean? I find like mutilated hearts.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but right after she died, it was snowing. We came home, right? My kids and I came home, and there was a blanket of snow out. Like I parked, and there was this perfect blanket of snow outside in the street, like undisturbed. Because I guess we'd been home a little while. My car was already parked, so nothing had disturbed the snow. But then Casey looked out the window and was like, "Mom, what? How did this happen?" We went outside, and there were two hearts interlinked in the snow.
Wow.
It was not there. It was like boom, it happened. Like I had looked and there was nothing. And then he looked and it was there. So you tell me. And when my boyfriend lived here and he had like this huge truck that he loved, you know how men in their trucks, right?
Yeah.
And so he knew where that, he always knew where that truck was parked. He came downstairs and he looks out the door and he goes, "Who moved my truck? His truck was moved."
Well, I believe this stuff, and if you ever want to invite me back for another where we're going to talk about that, I have like a lot of stories about.
Well, yeah, let's definitely do that for sure. And then when my mom died, they say people come and say goodbye, right? Well, there was a knock. There was a knock at my door, and I opened it really fast, right? And my house, there's no way where to hide. You know what I mean? You would see I opened it immediately, and there was nobody there, so I know that she knocked on the door. So. Yeah, but mostly, of course, like most of my stuff is with Casey. But yeah, I always wanted to see like ghosts, like this thing with somebody passing by a window. I've never seen anything like that, and I've always wanted to. I feel cheated that I have never seen anything like that. So we'll definitely do a show about that kind of stuff because I love this, and I know so many people love this kind of stuff.
I do,
but
definitely.
Going back to Lizzie Borden, though, so none of the people had anything psychic happen to them at all. Did anybody feel like? Do you feel it was worthwhile doing it?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Did you feel like any vibes at all from the whole place?
To some degree, like so we did a whole tour. We toured also the graveyard and also the church that she attended, and so.
Wow.
You're like building this narrative and it's like, you're like definitely spooked out and you're like,
that's cool.
Oh my God, I can't believe like right here, like a murder occurred. And I feel honestly like it had like negative, like whatever you want to call it. Like you could tell.
Vibes.
And I have another story about that too that we won't talk about, but I feel like when bad things happen in a place, like sometimes you're like, ew.
Yeah, absolutely.
It like lingers.
For sure. Yeah.
Not that I thought it would attach to anyone, but I just thought if you're sensitive, you could feel it. And then also some of it's imposed by and the stories come into life.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
I think it was worth it. I would go back. And we didn't know that they were coming the next day from the TV show. No, it was Unsolved Mysteries or something like that.
Really?
And I think maybe the spirits knew or something because I feel like something could happen there and it was just like they were just like.
Why didn't they want to be known though? Like that's a question, right? Do they want to be known? And I mean, I would think they would be more active if they knew that Unsolved Mysteries was coming and then, so give you something to talk about.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that was just my impression that,
That's interesting. Yeah, I wish we did know. That's the thing about ghosts, right? Like we don't really know their intentions. And that, I mean, as a writer, I guess it's sort of intriguing, right? Except the problem is you never really get the answer unless like somehow they definitively show you, how, it's a weird thing, but, it's annoying a bit to not know the motivations of ghosts.
Well, as a teacher, I'll tell you, my mother used to do the flowers for her Methodist church where she went. And she used to do it in the basement and I didn't like to go down there. And she's like, why? And I'm like, there's a ghost down there. And my mother's like, stop it. That's nonsense. And I said it when someone else was there. And then they told me a story about a little girl who had died like when she was like 6. But anyway.
Wow.
But I'm like, that's who it was, because, like, it was a little girl, and, like, I wasn't making the other person make up this story, but that's the ghost was, like, a little girl.
Aw, poor kid.
Yeah, so I'm like, definitely something lingered. And so anyway, but
No, I absolutely believe in all that, but I never experienced it. I've only experienced it with people from my own life, I've never experienced it, I'm a caring person. I'm surprised they don't come to me with their problems.
well, I thought of that too. I thought, like, I should actually have more because I'm just
Yeah,
very open to it.
yeah. It's strange, right? Yeah, you don't
It
know.
is.
Well, Pascal and I did not like that they were selling the brick dust, that they just scraped it off the bricks. We just thought that was a little bit of a money
They were
grab.
not doing that when I was there. I think that came later.
And they took us, I kind of liked it in the beginning, but then they took us in the basement. By the way, and also another thing that we didn't like, because we just took the tour of the house, right? And we were alone. We were the only people on that tour. I'm sure now it's very crowded this season, but so we went, you pay extra to go to the basement. There's absolutely nothing in the basement, like of any value.
Well, they said they found the axe down there, right?
No, they said it wasn't they said it was proven it was not the murder weapon. Yeah. So there's really no reason to go down there. People go down there and podcast down there. And I don't understand that. Because if I were going to do my podcast in that house, I would do it either in the bedroom or the living room, like where it happened.
Right.
Why would you podcast in a room further away from where it happened? I don't get that. But, and they had there's a ghost cat or something that walks around, but that cat died recently. It's nothing to do with Lizzie Borden. I mean, it's fine. There's a ghost cat, but
well, okay. So now you're just giving me more credence why I think that they didn't show up, because they're obviously people are like pimping these things and
they really are
monopolize on them. And there's
well,
not.
Okay, that's a problem I have with it too. And it's owned by a tour company. That's who runs the whole thing. So look, it's obvious that they're trying to get every dime they can out of the whole thing. It's not the same as when a historical society owns something or,
Ed, I remember the guy's name. Some old guy named Ed did it, but now that's like 20 years ago. Is he still there?
No, I think this tour company more recently bought it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're very commercial. I mean, as they are, look, I get it, right? But I just think it's too much. She showed us the bricks where they scrape the dust, and it's in the basement. I'm like, this isn't even. It's nowhere near where I don't know. I was like, it totally ruined the whole thing for me when I saw that. I'm like, what did you? You shouldn't have showed me that. It's like going behind the wizard's curtain. Just
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there, and then after that, I kind of, and you know me. Remember how I love? I'm just plugging in my computer. Sorry. I thought it was plugged in, but it was not. Okay. Remember how much I love buying souvenirs?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love them. I love them. There's no remorse either. I just love them, right? I didn't buy anything from that house because I got annoyed because I was going to buy the brick dust. And then when it just ruined it. You okay? And then everything just kind of bothered me, and I also I didn't like any souvenir that had that poem on it. Because it's not true. And you know what a purist I am, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm not buying a souvenir of the thing that's wrong. I'm not going to do it. So it left me with very few choices. And then I just wound up not buying anything. That might be a first for me.
See, I don't mind the poem because another good poem. Did you remember Anne Boleyn walked the bloody planks with her head tucked underneath her arm? Like we used to do these Lizzie Bordens and the Anne Boleyns and walk in circles in the rain or whenever we were bored and things.
That's so funny, Anne Boleyn. I know somebody who says that she's the reincarnation of Anne Boleyn.
My gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. She's one of my writing students. She's writing a book about Anne Boleyn, actually. But yeah. But yeah. So it's so I'm really well versed in Anne Boleyn. But I never and whenever she comes up, I think it's so funny. Because like Anne Boleyn, poor Anne Boleyn, that was a terrible thing what happened to her. I mean, unbelievable. That guy was such a jerk. I mean, horrible man, and never really paid for it.
Are you allowed to say ass? He was like a pompous.
Yeah, we full out curse here if you want.
Oh, okay. Something to look forward to.
Yes. Well, Pascal, I can't stop her from cursing. So she curses constantly. It's so funny. Yeah. So, but I never did. I didn't know that one about, and honestly, I knew the Lizzie Borden one, but I was never a kid that really did that stuff. I don't know why. I know I can't jump rope to save my life. I can't do it. So that's
you could do it with that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
I
it with
can't.
the double dutch.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that at all. I'm just a klutz. Like I can't. I could never. No matter how many times I practiced and tried, could never. To this day, I was going. I had a workout coach. Couldn't do it. He's always tried to force me. Couldn't do it.
Now you watched the Addams Family and the Munsters, though, right?
Did watch them. Yes.
Well,
Very
who
good.
didn't? TV was different. Like, if you weren't watching
Yeah.
that stuff, what were you doing?
Right, what you're doing. What about I mean, I like Wednesday, but I like the first season a lot, but I don't know. Now I have a really hard time with it, probably because Casey, my son, loved it, and and so it's hard for me. But I will say, damn, that's not for kids. Oh my God,
Right.
I saw the first episode of the second season. It's not a spoiler in a big way.
I didn't watch it yet.
All right. Well, see, something happens that is so, to me, they don't show it, but they kind of do. So disturbing that, it's just a very adult show. I mean, it was strange because the marketing, did you see they're selling at Wendy's, they're selling the kids' meals with Wednesday, but children should never see that show.
Oh
it's
God.
horrible. They'll be scarred. They'll be scarred for life if they watch Wendy's.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
it had a lot of adult themes, I think, for sure.
To make that a Happy Meal is not a good idea. Not a good plan
Now
at
I
all.
want it, though.
The Happy Meal?
Yeah, well, I'll give someone else the burger.
Yeah. No, I don't even know if they have toy in that. They have toy. I don't know if there's a toy in that bag. I'm not sure. I didn't see one, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist,
Right.
But, I mean, it says this is not, there's nothing happy in this meal, when it has Wednesday, and then, they have things that are purple, I mean, it's
kind
cute.
Of funny, though.
It's cute, except that children should not see this. That's all. Like Burger King had an Addams Family one, and that was okay because Addams Family is fine for kids,
Yeah.
I guess. I didn't see the new one, but I'm assuming it is. Anyway, so go back to what you said about that grave. Whose grave? Was it Dracula's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. Where was that?
Romania.
You went to Romania?
Yeah, on Halloween.
My gosh. Wow. That must have been awfully spooky.
Well, not to disappoint people. Transylvania's beautiful. It was fall. There was colored leaves. It's very quaint, kind of.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's nice. So we went to Bronze Castle, which was owned by Vlad
The Impaler.
Yeah. Well, his grandfather.
What was his last name?
I think it was, Wallachia was the province. It was, actually, I'm going to have to think of that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. What's that?
Wallachia is the province he governed, but it was,
okay.
Oh, Vlad Tepes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
And so his grandfather had power and stuff, and that was his castle. They said if he stepped foot in it maybe once.
Gosh.
That's not where he ruled from. It's definitely spooky because it's like at the top of like a mountain thing. Like, so that castle itself is a little spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have anything from him. It was very medieval.
But why is he buried there if he never?
He's not buried there, but that's what we went to see.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, so now I've spent all this money to come to Romania.
That's crazy.
To see this castle that he maybe never stepped foot in that was owned by his grandfather.
Yeah. It's very upsetting.
Right. And
very
all
upsetting.
Right. So I said, are we going to go to his grave? And I have read the book, The Historian by Elizabeth, I think, Koskova. Amazing book.
Yeah.
Dracula revival. I'm like, are we going to go to Snagov Monastery to his grave? And they were like, no.
Ah.
So I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest here that I am not leaving Romania. And I'm on this guy's tour who's very nice, right?
So funny.
I'm like, I cannot leave Romania without going there. So, like, what can you do?
Wow.
He's like, well, we have this big dinner that's like, whatever. If you don't want to go to that, I can arrange for someone from my office to drive you to Snagov Monastery. And then you could pay to go in and go take pictures, whatever, and then come back. So I was like, done.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so we went to Snaggle Monastery.
So how far is it from where you were?
Say we might have been like an hour or hour and a half
That's
or
not
something.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So we were kind of close enough because I
Yeah.
guess we were in whatever was considered Wallachia. But yeah, so I went there. The monastery is super cool to begin with, but then to just go and to where he was buried was super cool.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wow. So what is it? It doesn't say Vlad the Impaler. It just says his name, right?
Vlad Tepes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's an interesting story about history, which you like.
Yeah.
So I was asking people, so like, what do you guys think about, you know, being like that, kind of, and we went to his birthplace too, which was pretty cool.
Well, that's cool.
Being famous for Dracula. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we're very proud.
Okay.
And
Good.
I'm like,
why not?
Well, I said, I'm from America, and I said, they kind of look at it like horror, and they're like, oh yeah, like they do all that stuff, and they blow things out of proportion, and I'm like, so do tell like what you're proud of, and they said, oh, well, he was a brilliant military strategist.
Okay.
So then this guy told me stories of how I think usually the Turks, but all different people would come in, because like it's kind of by Russia, Ukraine, they would come in and they would take it over, and that happened like again and again and again. And it's just history. But when Vlad Tepes took over, he would, if they won at battle, they would put their head on spikes, like hundreds of them, all around the walls of the castle. And he said that during his reign, when he did that, they did not get invaded for 3 years.
Wow. I could see why, yeah.
Right. But the thing is, if you realize all war is, like, being realistic and objective, all war is bloody and disgusting and horrible, and you
No
kill
question.
people. So,
No
like,
question.
they were kind of right in a very spooky way.
No, I know. I'm a pacifist despite writing about war. I write about 2 wars now. I write about the American Revolution and the Civil War. But
Right.
I hate war. But you're right. But something about putting somebody's head on a
I hate
spike.
war too, but like, imagine if that would save your people and stop people from coming and killing.
No, you're
women
right.
and
I don't know
children.
why people have to do that. Why do people have to invade? And again, history constantly repeats itself. It's happening now, as we know, right?
Like they lived
why,
there. They were from there. Leave them alone.
I agree. If people could just leave people alone, why can't you just live in peace? This is a huge question. Just leave people alone. Let's all just live our own lives. Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to,
why do we have to own everything?
I don't know. Putin, hello. I mean,
another story, but I did go to Russia.
You did? All right. Wait a minute. When did you go to Russia?
Russia, 2018.
Really? My aunt was always so mad at me that I didn't care about I'm Russian. I'm Italian and Russian. And my aunt was like, you don't even care. I'm like, it's not that I don't care, but like I want to work out now. I can't deal with the past. It's funny. I deal with past for writing for a living, but for myself, for my own life, I'm just trying to deal with the current situation, and I don't know. I'm not tribal. I'm not tribal at all, but I am curious. Like, where did you go?
A little.
Yeah, you are?
That has a good Halloween spot.
Oh, yeah?
The Hermitage Museum was a palace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go underneath, you can have a tour of where Rasputin was murdered.
That's interesting. Wow. So what was that good? Was it good? Yeah.
It was good.
Wow. Wow, that's really interesting. I don't know. I'm afraid of Russia.
Church of the Spilled Blood, like lots of
Church of the Spilled Blood?
Something like that, yeah.
My God.
And of course I went to the Anastasia's grave.
That's so sad, that whole story. Oh my God.
That was very sad, and I read the book by Candace Fleming. That was
Candy.
It's not for everyone. I loved it. It's a little like dry, like it's for older kids and stuff. And it's a little kid scholarly, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That kind of,
But I loved it nonetheless, and I read that book and other books before we went to the graves, and because I was adopted, so the Anastasia story was like, wouldn't you love to be like a lost princess? So we did that.
But isn't it true that that's not true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's not true.
Yeah. That's so sad the way that whole family just got murdered. Like, the kids, like, what? Just leave them alone. Like, I don't get all, I can't stand
Again,
it.
it's like kind of war and how horrible it is, and
Well,
people
it's all horrible.
jealousy, and that
It's
was
so,
Rasputin was behind that, of course.
so then he got killed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, then he got killed at
So who killed him?
Again, I forgot the story because right now there's a lot of stories flying around in my head. I can only
We got you you're very good with dates, so we have you for that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna look into that because I am interested in knowing. Like, I find it very intriguing, but upsetting, but intriguing. I will say I forgot one place that I've gone to that's very spooky. Perhaps you've been there. The catacombs in Paris. Have you been there?
I may not have.
Oh my God. It's unbelievable. You just walk through, there's just piles and piles of skulls and bones
No, I have
everywhere.
not. That I would remember.
My God. It's just like this crazy feeling, like when you stop and think about how many people are buried under there. It's unbelievable.
Did you feel their presence of any?
I don't know. I think that time I was not really open to anything because I was with my kids and, you don't really want to, and
Yeah,
you kind
you
of
don't
want
wanna
to
invite
keep
that.
that, you want to get that away, and my kids were
Right.
a bit spooked by it, but I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to go with my kids. But yeah, that is a spooky place. If you're ever around there for this spooky season, I would definitely recommend the catacombs.
Well, I will go back there because I didn't get to go to Père Lachaise where Jim Morrison was buried.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a good place for sure. I didn't see his grave either. I don't think because I've been there many times, but not many, but several times. And I don't know. I've always with people that really, I should have gone because I do love Jim Morrison so much, but I didn't. Oh, well. I want to go back and also go to Lafayette's home, not in Paris,
go.
but yeah. Oh, we
I'll
should go.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Lafayette.
I know.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go with anybody else.
That's right. Oh, you and I went on the day we followed the John Andre's hanging. We went on the anniversary. That's pretty spooky too. It was in October too. That when John Andre was hanged, he's the spy. He was the British spy caught and hanged because Benedict Arnold got away and Washington had to punish somebody. And it was John Andre, who was the most lovely guy. And all the Americans cried for this British guy. I actually have a new book out about it, Freedom's Cost, and it follows, Benjamin Talmadge, he's my guy. And it follows him from the beginning of the war to when he wants revenge for Nathan Hale and his brother. And then in the end, he gets it with John Andre. He tells him, "Oh, you're going to die like my friend Nathan Hale." And then he feels horrible because he really cares about the guy. So that's what this book follows. Again, it's the idea that I'm really into just because someone's your enemy, in a war, they're still human. And what are we doing? That's like my basic. I think that's why, over and over again, that's kind of my
underlying
running.
theme.
Yes. We're human. We're all the same. Why are we doing this to each other? And I think all my books in one way or another cry that out. I'm so light, aren't I? I'm like the most light writer. This is what everybody thinks about when they read a picture book,
I know, right?
But that book is actually not a picture book. It's middle grade. So we're trying something new here. But my picture books do well because I don't put that statement in there. It's whatever you get out of, as all writing, right? Whatever people get out of something, that's what they get out of it, right? And that's the beauty of it. But I know we've been talking a long time, but I do want to touch on Salem because we both love Salem. Okay, so tell me some of your experience at Salem. What do you love about Salem?
Well, the history too. So I'll preface it that in early 90s when I went back to college, I took the history of the Salem witchcraft trials and I did my thesis on that.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was during that time. So it was, who knows, 93, 94 that I went there because I was working on it and I wanted to just really understand. And of course, the more I learned, the more terrible it is. You get to know the people.
Absolutely.
Right?
It makes it so much worse. So much worse.
The
things that happened to them was
these are real people. And actually,
Absolutely.
this is really strange and you won't believe this, but actually this book, can you see it?
Yes, but say it, the name, in case people are just
Henny
listening.
Penny's Weather Worries is
Yes.
inspired by the Salem witchcraft trial.
Wow.
Yeah, in a very odd way, I'll show really quick. So basically, it's dark and the sky is falling. You know, like it's thundering, flashing, and
Yeah.
hold on. And then the princess loses her piece, so there's all fairy tales mixed in. But Henny Penny, it hits her in the head, and then starts.
I remember when you wrote this.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
starts the mass hysteria, right?
Yeah.
So she's doing it, then the bear drops,
Yeah.
goes in.
Wow.
And
That's
then it's
great.
everybody.
I
So
love that.
instead of, I know, this is the most kid-friendly way I could think about.
Yeah, it's right. Absolutely.
To learn from, just because some person's doing a thing, like, you don't do it. So what happens is, like, when they all get crazy, they knock into each other, causing chaos and havoc, and then they knock down the whole school.
Wow.
And then at the end, like, it's like, trying to find out what happened and that, like, what should they have done?
Yeah.
And she should have, like, checked her head. Like, she should have took a deep breath and checked her head. But why I wanted to write that story so much is
That's
because,
great.
yeah,
that's the perfect thing. Like, every kid should have that, like, it's the perfect thing because it's so true. And because, you know what I mean? That to learn, you're really taking, that's brilliant to use that and it could be applied to all the things that happen, like, especially Salem witch trials, but there's so many so many times in history with the mass hysteria and these things. So that's great. Love it.
Yeah, but that was,
and I remember reading that. I remember reading that as you were working on it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so cool when you see them come to life, and same with me and your books. It's like, it's a really nice feeling. But but I was so touched by that. And what happened. Did you go to the parsonage?
I was there a long time ago. I didn't go this time, but refresh me about it. But I'm pretty sure I was there a long time ago.
So it's like, you have to be in the know, and it's like back in this little path between two, like, regular looking houses. Back in the woods is the foundation from the parsonage. I feel like I really felt vibes there.
Really?
Yeah, who knows? But and then the Gallows Hill, and I have to say that was one of the places that I mostly felt everything. It was so sad and mounting, except for. And this was creepy, but in, like, the Salem Witchcraft Museum was such a hokey.
Oh, the witch, is it called, what's it called? The Salem Witch Museum.
I think it's the Salem Witch Museum or something.
Oh, that's the worst. I mean,
it was the hokiest thing.
I know. It's so stupid. I mean, and first of all, how dated is it? Like, it looks like Epcot when it was originally, like, you know what I mean?
Like 100 years ago.
and cheesy, and they in the first part, they have those things that's like Epcot, the old Epcot, and then, I mean, they do tell you the story. I mean, there are some human they do lay out some human qualities of the people. So so for that, it's good, And I'm telling you, I wrote a review about it, and I think like 8,000 people have liked this review because I said that, and I put pictures. You know what I put pictures of in the second room? They have all they have is those little, they have things that, just like the whole history of witchcraft, but they rush you through it. You can't get any sense of it because the woman, it's all like they want you out of there so the next group can come in. It's just, they're just rushing you out, and you can't even, I took pictures of the little descriptions. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is this? Like, you're not, and there's nothing about the Salem witches in that room. You go past the Salem witches already. So what's going on here? It's so cheesy.
Yeah. And what about the house? The house was really the judge's house.
The witch museum?
No, there's a witch museum, and then there's a house.
The house, yes, that's right. The judge, yeah, that's right.
You have to go to Danvers. Actually, that's the other thing about going to Salem. It didn't really happen there. Like, so when you're going to the judge's house where the judge lived, you could go to Nathaniel Hawthorne's house if you want.
I've been there. I like that because I
like
me.
That too. Yeah, that was a good experience. But the stuff around there for the, Salem was not where it really happened. It happened in Danvers. So you can go to Rebecca Nurse's house in Danvers, and that's where the parsonage is.
I didn't realize that they had that in Danvers.
That's
why don't they make that? So why is Salem the one that's so known? Why was that built up and not the other one?
I don't remember the answer to that, but that's another thing. Like, if we ever do research prior to a session, but it's just, Salem was like the town where people came together, and when there was a trial, that's where the people came. That's where they were tried, I believe.
But where is the Gallows Hill? Is that technically in Salem?
That was Danvers too, I believe.
Okay. I was afraid to go there. I don't
know
the
monument. The monument?
Tour guide, yeah. The tour guide made me scared to go to Gallows Hill. I don't know why. But not because, I think he said that people get robbed there. Not for anything spooky. He said that it's dangerous to go there. He said that it's not a safe place to be, like because of robbery, not because of spookiness.
Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't go because we are easily scared.
That's terrible that people are ruining that for other people.
Well, those thieves, they're not the most considerate people.
Like they were robbing land.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's true.
Was land disputes. And
the whole reasoning behind it, the financial gain, absolutely. It's unbelievable with Salem. They that is a major reason why it was done for financial gain.
I know.
And they don't really talk about that there. I learned about it because I was doing a presentation for something, I don't know, about, and I had to research it. And I learned it from that, but nobody mentioned that in Salem.
I know. You had to know about it, really.
They really don't tell you a lot. Like, they really limit it.
They want you to think that these people were witches or something. Like, that's the whole...
So that you think they're trying to keep the mystique up? Like,
yeah,
the question.
That's what I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that
it's all bullshit. They weren't. There's no witches.
I know. There's no witches. I think that some of them, like in the walking tour, I don't think the guy. It's now that you say it, maybe he did try to keep it a mystique. Yeah, now that you say that, I guess you're right. Yeah, to some degree, they do because they always want you to like take the pictures and see if you see an orb and this stuff. And it's all like it is all very. It really is. The place is like a big tourist trap. I went on a really good spooky tour, but it wasn't. The Salem one was okay. I don't know. It wasn't spooky at all, really. But it also poured for a lot of it, and that kind of that was not fun at all. And poor Pascal and I had like one little umbrella we were sharing. We're not prepared at all. But in Boston, we took a haunted trolley. The trolley wasn't haunted, but they take you on a trolley, and it's a ghost tour, and that was really good. And the guy was, I don't know if he was acting or if he really thinks that he's like, but he was portraying himself as like a demon, and man, he was spooky. He was really creepy, this guy. I have a picture of me and him, and it looks like he's going to eat me. Like, he was a full-on creep, and he never broke it. You know what I mean? He never broke the facade. No matter how much I try to talk to, I was talking to him, but he never broke it. And he had the keys to go in graveyards. Like, because I guess that tour is the only way you could get in those graveyards at night. And man, they were spooky. And it was really good. He was telling us really interesting stories. I don't remember the name of it. I'll try to put that in the show notes too. But that was a good one. That one I would recommend because that was really spooky. And you got to go in these graveyards. Like there's a really famous graveyard where you go in during the day in Boston, where Paul Revere is buried.
Granary.
Yeah. And is that the name?
The Granary or something, where Samuel Adams is buried,
facing, yes.
And the Boston Massacre people. Yes. That's the old Granary or something.
Well, we got to go in at night when it was locked. It was really cool. Yeah. It totally was a different feeling. And so I highly recommend that one, which I will try to link it in the show notes. I'm so bad with that stuff, but I'm going to do it. But so that was like one of the best. It was probably, one of the top ghosts. And I go on a lot of ghost tours. I love, if there's a ghost tour, I will go on that tour.
Have you done the one at the cemetery, like in Queens or whatever it is?
No. What that big one?
Big one.
Oh, they have a ghost tour?
They did at one time.
No. And also they have the Spirits one in Three Village. They have the Spirits tour over there too, which I've never gone on. I never go when I live near anything. I only go when I'm traveling. So funny. But I do love them. That's how I learned how to use the divining rods. The guy had them on the tour in San Antonio, and I said when I realized that I could communicate, I'm really good at communicating with spirits. Like I don't have that thing where I see them or anything, but I mean I only use them for Casey now. That's how I communicate with Casey. But you know those rods, and
No, I know. Did you
I'm
do it
so
at Houdini's grave? Did you try it?
I did not. I did not.
Because he
But
was really into that. So,
was he? I didn't know that.
oh my gosh, he always tried to get in touch with his dead mother.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know. But he didn't do the rods, though. Did he?
No, but he.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah. I know. I
I would
know he
think,
did.
so real quick funny story about that. So my grandmother was buried in Evergreen Cemetery in Brooklyn, and I used to go there and get so upset, like I didn't want her to be dead. And then sometimes instead of visiting her, I would visit Harry Houdini's grave in Macapella.
Wow.
Because I felt like, that was like and his grave is so cool. But you should go there with your rod. Because he was like, and then Bess, I think, kept trying to get in touch with him.
She did, but and they had a word and no one ever got it.
Maybe you'll get it.
I don't know. I communicate with Casey, but it's really like what I did? I set up like a whole chart for him to point to things, to spell out things, but it's really hard because it like takes forever, right? You know what I mean? Like spelling out it. But
kind of like Ouija.
It is like Ouija. So I do get messages from him, but I thought I was, how people always say, try to get the lottery numbers from people. So I'm like, Casey, can you give me the numbers, the daily numbers or whatever? Or no, it was lottery. I don't know what it was, but he pointed out numbers, right? So I started going like, I went to several different places and played these numbers because I'm like, well, like, I don't know. I just was trying in different spots. I had some crazy thing. I was just determined that I was going to win, but it was nothing, right? So then I'm like, Casey, was this just a joke? And he said yes, because he's like, we can't tell you that, we don't know the future.
That's funny.
He's a real jokester, but I mean, it's true. Why would they know the future, right?
No, why
Think about
would they? Right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But I was just so hopeful. I fell into all that, but he says that he's like he says he can see some people, but not a lot, not everyone. It's not like a place where you can just run into anybody in history, apparently. I think everybody sort of has their own spots and things like that. So he's like, I've tried to get information from him about other people, like famous people or whatever, but he says he can't see them. Maybe he just doesn't want to be bothered. Like, that's Casey too. He doesn't want to deal with all this. Like, he's like,
right.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. But, so I'm not good at getting actual answers from them. I can get like yes and no, basically, but it would be cool to try for sure. Like, I could at least maybe I could communicate with Houdini. It's possible.
Well, I'll tell you as a teaser. So, there was a person that I kind of saw in like a vision, whatever. And, he was married to my really good friend, and I saw him, not her. And I wasn't even with her. So I said, I need to tell her that I saw you to, so she can feel that you're close. And I said, is there a word that I should tell her to know that I really did? And he gave me this word. And I guess they'll have to tune in again to see what it was. But
my God, really? That's amazing.
He
so he spoke to you, saw him and he spoke to you? Wow.
He said a word. And when I told my friend, I said, you're going to think I'm crazy. It's the stupidest word. It's just, I don't even want to repeat it. It's such a dumb word. And then she went white because it was very significant to them in a way that I would not have known.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll do that. We'll do that in the part 2.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. I would really love to have, look, I'm grateful I communicate with Casey, no question, but I really would love to see him, I really would. It's tough, it's a tough thing, and it's never going to get any easier.
You don't know, maybe it would be harder.
If I saw him? No, I'm pretty confident. Like, did you ever see that old show, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir? And the guy was just,
I
like,
used to
hanging
grow
out.
up watching that.
Me too.
I love that
I want
show.
Casey to be like him. I want him to hang out.
Yeah, see,
that's
that
what I
would
want.
be super cool.
Yeah. Why can't that be real? I want that. So, yeah. It's tough.
You never know. You will see him one day, though.
I know I'll be with him. No, I know. That's what keeps me going, that I'm going to be. I know I'm going to be with him. He saw the movie, what's the thing? Everything Everywhere All at Once. And he said to me,
that.
Well, you should see it. It's right up your alley.
I thought you were going to say The Sixth Sense.
No, I mean, he probably saw that, but Everything Everywhere All at Once came out like maybe a few months before he passed away. So we were in California and he just came out and he was so excited. He's like, I watched this movie twice. He goes, I love this movie so much and I'm so glad I watched it because now I know how everything works. Now, that movie is not something I ever thought that he would. I only watched it after he died because I'm like, I remembered. It was like a message to me in advance. I got a lot of things happened in advance. Like we both knew. Looking back, we both knew because he would talk about, Mom, when I die, you can't kill yourself. You always said you would kill yourself. You have to take care of Bean. Like he was always saying stuff like that in the months leading up. And I started feeling this horrible dread. And then in the hospital, I took him to the South Nassau Hospital. He had COVID. I didn't know it was COVID. And I knew he needed like a chest x-ray because I thought he did because he was, that's why I took him to the hospital as opposed to urgent care.
Right.
So that I brought him into the triage room and he was always very shy. So I was answering the questions for him and he wasn't shy. Like if you knew, you knew him, but he was just shy in those kind of situations. So they said, has he ever been here before? I said, yeah, he was born here. And a voice said in my head, and the voice said, and died
here.
Yeah. You tell, obviously this was like preordained. There's no, I mean, people are like, oh, you don't know. I'm like, no, I do know. Because then he died there. Like, I don't know what more you people want from me. That's obviously evidence, like, what do you think? Is obviously, I didn't know. It wasn't like I made this voice. It was a voice. And that's, so anyway, we knew, it's weird. Like, it's like, and he made a soul contract. Like I've just talked to enough people that I've figured this out enough. I've talked to a lot of psychic people and he's told me through communications, both with the sticks, he confirms it. And when I talk to people and he made a soul contract before he was born and that he would die then. And it was to teach me something. And it really makes me angry because I'm like, if you want to teach me something, just tell me, God, whoever you are, just tell me. I'm very cooperative, I'm very cooperative. And you didn't have to take my kids. So that, it's game over for me with that. But, and I said, Casey, did you think like 23 years was a long time before, back then? He's like, yeah. Like they don't have a concept of that's only a short time,
Right.
So well, but there's no question, but I know that when he saw that movie, it was not, there's no mistaking that he was meant to watch it and see how it works and show me. And that movie is all about the idea that we find each other like when we die, and you're together. And it's like, it's this movie. It's really good message. It's really interesting, but it's also a crazy movie. Like crazy stuff happens. And there's no way that Casey would have liked that under normal circumstances. He wouldn't have patience for it because it's bizarre. It's the most bizarre movie you'll ever see.
If it ever comes on Netflix, like I have Vicky, which is Asian, like an Asian drama TV. There's this movie, Goblin, Lonely and Great God, that is amazing, kind of about that stuff.
Really?
I've watched it like 13 times.
Wow.
And it's 16 episodes.
Wow. And
because it's
where do you get
favorite.
it? You can only get it on this. You can only get it on the something. What is it on?
Viki, Viki. It's owned by Rakuten. It's Asian, like an Asian TV thing. But
So does it have subtitles?
It does, but they have a lot of Asian dramas on Netflix now. So it's Goblin. They call it Goblin, but it's Guardian, the Lonely and Great God. If it ever comes to Netflix, we watch it. It's honestly like something that is so bittersweet because it's about life, but yet gives you so much hope. And it's so sad, but it also makes you feel like your heart swell.
Really? Wow.
It does. And it's historical. It's mystical. It's
really
so good. Yeah.
Wow. We're going to have to watch that.
I know. If I ever see it anywhere else, I'll try to remember to tell you because it's like, it's amazing. And when I make people watch K-dramas, like that's usually the one.
That's interesting. Well, I could always subscribe for a month and just see it, right?
Oh, yeah, I think you get even free trial. I don't know if it's on the free trial, but it's like all these things about life, and I don't want to ruin anything, but I'll send to remind you because it's something I think you would love.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right. Well, we've been talking a long time, so I guess
We
we'll
can
call
do
it a
that.
day. We can. But this has really been a lot of fun. Is there anything further you wanted to say about Salem before we go?
I do think it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you hear about it, so it's really cool when you go yourself. And then also to learn about the history and kind of learn from the history, I think is really important because you should never like jump on a hysteria or gang up on people when you don't know if it's true or,
You're right. And I mean, in a way that happens so much right now, I mean, no one is ever getting the full story of anything. Everybody just immediately just
Picks a side.
accepts. It's crazy without being fully informed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at my back episodes and many of them involve critical thinking. I'm always saying critical thinking. Don't just believe what someone tells you. Find out the whole thing.
Do the research,
Yeah.
read the book, read the real books about what happened and understand it's tragic and learn from it so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, because people just accept and they don't even know anybody just says anything and they just believe it. I mean, it's just so bad. It's making me crazy, but I always talk about it over and over again, critical thinking. And that's really what it boils down to. And wow, things would be much better. Things would be much better right now if everybody was doing the critical thinking.
We need critical thinking.
We really do.
And we also need to have history, not erase it, to learn and understand from it.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't repeat, like you were saying, history repeating. So
it really does. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. But we do our best. I don't know. I work really hard and we, writing is one of the hardest things, I think, because it takes so much from your soul. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful process, but it also is it's just a lot. It's a lot to give so much of yourself, but it is all worth it. I think I do the best I can, and you're a really hard worker too. We're both really dedicated people.
That's why we found each other. No one was published, remember? Pretty much except for Arel, maybe. Arel.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
Yeah, except for Arel. And I think if you were gonna put money on the next two, it was gonna be us.
Well, yeah, we were surely determined. We were on fire. Yeah.
Yeah. You knew.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to be on fire to get published, I think, because it's just too hard.
It is.
You have to be determined. You have to be it reminds me of Rosé, the singer Rosé. I really love her story because she got entrance into the K-pop, one of those K-pop schools. And she went there for 4 years and her parents are like, no, it's enough. Come home. And she goes, no, coming home is not an option. I'm making it. You have to know you're going to make it.
Exactly.
You have to know you're going to make it in order to make it because otherwise you won't, because you're going to derail yourself. It's so hard to make it. And it's more than just talent. It's determination. You have to have both, you really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here with me. It was so much fun.
So fun. It makes me miss you. We have to get together soon.
We do. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll see Lynne again on another episode. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.